Hey gang, Ronin here. Welcome on back to the Retrocade. It's Saturday, and we are back with another Sports Saturday. If you've been enjoying the content on this channel, the best way to show it, as always, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, ring the bell to be notified of the latest content. Also, remember we have a Suckerpunch Sunday coming up tomorrow, where we will play a fighting platform-based game from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th generation. And also, we have new features here at the Retrocade. We have our one-day features that we're playing during the week. It's a game you can play either in a day or even as little as an hour. And then we have WTF Wednesday, where we do a little bit of an exploration into games that on paper sounded like a good idea and in reality turned out to be anything but. And to give you an example, we did the Super Nintendo Entertainment System version of Family Feud this last week. And that's one where we'll be doing it kind of intermittently, like the one-day featurettes, to get us ready for our next big playthrough. Also, follow us on Twitter at @RetroCade. Help us if you can hit our goal of 100 subscribers as soon as possible. That way we can unlock YouTube's customization algorithm. And if there's any game we would like to see us feature from the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super Nintendo, SNK Neo Geo, Sega Master System, Sega Genesis, or Mega Drive, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, or PlayStation 2, leave it in the comments below. So why are we playing Stakes Winner 2 today for the SNK Neo Geo? Well, we are playing this game because, one, the Kentucky Derby is happening this weekend, and two, I figured what better way to celebrate that than to see if we can, on this game from 1996, try and win the Triple Crown. The Triple Crown, if you are unfamiliar with horse racing at all, is you need to win the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont Stakes, and the Preakness Stakes all in the same calendar year. Now, when this game came out in 1996, it was not a well-received game. It was pretty mixed, and obviously this being Stakes Winner 2, going along with my passion for sequels, there was a Stakes Winner 1 that came out in 94, and it sold well enough that it prompted Saurus, which was the company that created this game, to go ahead and make a sequel. They were going to do Stakes Winner 3, but it languished in development hell and was never released. The thing I like about this game is that, one, I like the anime aspect of it. It's very cartoony, and going along with my longtime love of all things anime, it works for what I like to do. So you get a whole bunch of different horses you can choose from. They're all of different grades, as you can see with the letters there. And I'm going to go with a C grade. I'm going to go ahead and try Blackbird for this one. And you see you have speed, stamina, and burst, and I will explain those as we go. Speed and stamina should be obviously pretty self-explanatory. It's how fast you can run and for how long. And then burst is when you get towards the end, you're allowed to kick in the final gear on your horse and run to the finish. But I also like about this game that they actually base it on real races at real tracks. Now, the trick to being a good jockey in this game is you're allowed to spur your horse on by either smacking him on the hind quarter with your riding crop or just moving him along by hitting the accelerate button. The thing you need to keep in mind is that you have to worry about the temperament of your horse. If you beat him too much, then he's going to revolt and slow down. So you've got to know when you want to be able to give him that little bit of an extra kick to keep him going. And then towards the end, once you hit the boost, then you can just go to town and drive him the rest of the way home. So we win the opening race, and we win by 1.5 lengths. That's not a bad way to go. And it's a record win. And we got $124,000 out of it. Now, between races, you can come here to the stable shop, and you can see right here, like I said, the anime aspect of it. Judging by the attendee of the stable shop, and you can buy certain things to help you get through the next race. There is a built-in cheat utilizing the stable shop that at some point I will explain to you because it's based on the conditions. But the people who created this game are Nobuyuki Tanaka and Takahiro Shima, and they capitalized on the fact that in Japan, horse racing is a really big deal. To give you an idea, horse racing has been around in Japan since the outbreak, or actually 2 years into the Civil War, 1862. So, the Japanese like themselves some horse racing. Oh, no, and I've been paralyzed. That's not good. You have to finish in the top 3 to be able to make it to the next set of races, and I don't think we did it in this one. And that's the thing you have to look out for. You have to know which way, as you're going around the track, what is coming at you, so you can make sure you don't run into that problem. Because if you finish out of the top 3, then it's game over. And you are left with a bum steer. So we'll try it with her again. We go back to the stable shop. And this is what I mean about the cheat. If you come into the stable shop and there is this item, the hoof grip, you always buy it, no questions asked. Because that lets you know you're racing in mud. And if you don't race, if you race without them on a muddy track, you're not going to win. You're just not. The hoof grips give you the traction you need to be able to get through the race near the front of the pack, provided you don't run into the paralyzation items and it takes you out. But see, if you look at the lower left-hand corner, oh, can I get there? Give him a little bit of a power boost, but I don't think I'm going to catch him. I didn't, so I'm going to finish second in this race. But the horse will tell you if it's able to work with you or not. You see it getting stressed as it's going along, and then when it shakes its head, it slows down because it's protesting you whipping it. So you have to be careful with your horse. You always want to try and build up stamina first. You get a couple of opportunities to do these sorts of little power-ups before big races with your horse. Obviously, you don't want to have them run into the whirlpools. That's not a good thing. But once you get to the end, as long as you don't run out of time, it's not hard to do. And then you'll see how well it boosts up the stamina. So now stamina and speed are equal, and the burst is a little bit better. So now we got the BC Juvenile Race, and we want to get the horse grip again. So it'll be another 1 1/16 race. Well, like I said, horse racing in Japan is huge. They have a full season that runs from February all the way to December. So it stood to reason that in the 90s, as video game developers were looking for ways to create content that would interest consumers in buying either games or their consoles, that getting something like this, there we go, would make sense. And much like, when we play Family Feud on Wednesday, this is very much a niche game. I could very easily do this as a WTF Wednesday game, but in part because, say what you will, but horse racing is a sport, if for no other reason than the horses are the athletes. And I've been around some race horses, and they are magnificent creatures. They really are. And I'm not playing this game as saying that horse racing is a great thing. I mean, I've been noticing what's been happening in the horse racing world, especially tracks like Santa Anita, where there have been horses that have been dropping literally like flies. And I don't necessarily approve of it, but fortunately in a game like this, I don't have to worry about my horse pulling up lame or getting a catastrophic injury. Whoop, I don't want to do that. I don't want to hit that paralyzation button. Now we are flying. We are way ahead of everybody. Now we're going to get a little speed boost, and we'll go even faster, and we're going to win this by a mile. And that's how this game can work. Sometimes you can get lucky and just cruise home. I mean, we won by 6 lengths. And 6 lengths in horse racing is massive. But it wasn't the record. We won, but we didn't even get the track record on that. But now we hit the Kentucky Derby. And what they will do is they will run these in succession. So it'll be the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont, and the Preakness. But we got to win this race first. And you see the record holder is Secretariat. And of course, Secretariat's arguably, and by some degree, not even arguably, the greatest racehorse of all time. So I found that it always helps that if you get in close to the rail, because you're actually going to be running a shorter race than everybody else. Whoa, that was close. And down the stretch we come. We got the power boost, and we're going to win, and we're also going to set the track record. So we take the first leg of the Triple Crown by 1.5 lengths, winning the Kentucky Derby at 148.6. That crushed Secretariat's record. We win $810,000 out of that. So now we run the Preakness, and then the Belmont is last. Ooh, and we didn't get the chance to get the hoof grips. So we're going to be running in the mud without the hoof grips at the Preakness. So now we're going to have to see just how good of a horse we actually have here. Should have grabbed that carrot. But we're okay. Because now we come down the stretch, get the speed kick, and we will win the second leg of the Triple Crown. And we won by 3 1/4 at 149.5. And that's a record win. So we win $550,000 for that. We're already over $2.5 million. And now we get one last warm-up before the Belmont. The Belmont is always the one that makes or breaks it. Because the Belmont is the longest race. So it tends to make it where the horses just do not last. But now we have full speed, we almost have full stamina, and we have a full burst. So this should get us through the Belmont. It's 1.5 miles. And it's going to be wet again. So the record's 2:24 by Secretariat. And it's a wide oval. So we're out the gate. Got that power boost, needed that. You know, the one here on the backstretch. Didn't get it though. Oh, we ran out of juice. Are you kidding me? We had to retire because we ran out of juice before we could engage the kick. And see, that's the problem. So you're going to let us run it again. Let's do this one. So it's a not muddy track. So we're going to get one more bite at the cherry here. Oh, crap! Alright, we're at the back. Needed that. Now we're charging to the front. And we get the speed kick. And we get the last boost coming around the corner. Can we get there? Oh yeah, we're gonna win it. So we come back from the back of the pack to win the Triple Crown. We had to do it on a continue because we got shafted the first run, but we won in 2:23.1. I don't think that's the record. No, it was the record. And we become the latest horse to win the Triple Crown. So now the way the game goes is, I mean, you don't get anything special because in Japan winning the Triple Crown isn't quite as big as it is winning here in the States. But now you will keep going and racing at different tracks, including the Breeders' Cup, which is the biggest purse in horse racing. And then you will go into a second season and you will get challenged by a rival jockey. But this is a game kind of like a one-day feature where you can beat it in an hour if you just sit down and play it. And again, it's not a game that is overly complicated. They don't go out of their way to make it that ridiculously difficult. But to me, it's just a fun little change of a game. That when I was going through and really exploring stuff in the SNK Neo Geo, that I didn't think I was going to like, but it's one where I will pull it out every once in a while, and I'll just play it until I've either gotten sick of it, or I'll play it all the way through. So the BC Classic is the Breeders' Cup Classic. And we'll do the mini carrot this time. So the Breeders' Cup Classic, again, it's for almost 1.6 million, so the purse is huge. But this is the sort of game that you will never see on a modern console. You just won't. Because who in their right mind would want to get a game that is all about horse racing? You know, this is developed for a very, very specific niche of people. And I'm not saying they're wrong for doing it. It's just by comparison to modern day games like, you know, Call of Duty and Last of Us, and Ghost of Tsushima, and games like that. I mean, there's no point. You know, there really isn't a market. But again, 25 years ago, when you had many more consoles and they were looking for ways to get new people to come in and play, you were doing things like this, or making games based on TV game shows. And they're still doing that today. You know, you can get, on the PS4, you can get a version of Family Feud, or Price is Right, or Jeopardy! And I can't, from myself, it's not a game that I probably would have bought back in the day, but since I'm playing this on an emulator, I'm playing this on KWAX 1.65, you know, why not? It's, to me, this is a bit of harmless fun. And it's something different. And every now and again, playing something different isn't a bad thing. Ah! We're gonna have to come back from the pack again. I know, Blackbird, you're not happy. We're weaving our way through the field. But am I gonna have enough juice to get to the end? Yes, I am. Hopefully. We gotta make it up the hill. Make it up the hill. Make it to the finish. Yes, we did. So we come from the back again to win by a length and a quarter. Blackbird was chosen as the horse of the year. We have 500 grand in extra prize money, and now we're up over 6.7 million. Yeah, I'll use the lightweight lash. Because the lightweight lash at least makes it so it's easier to accelerate. You're not having to whip the horse quite so much. You know, and it's funny that I like a game like this because I've never ridden a horse. I've been around horses, but I've never personally ridden a horse. Doesn't mean I don't want to. It's just the opportunities were never there for me to really take advantage of it because I'm a city kid from New England. I never grew up really out in the country, but I will admit I've gone to county fairs and stuff in my lifetime and been around many different types of horses, and I find them to be magnificent animals, especially draft horses. Draft horses are they're the closest thing you're ever going to see to horses that you would read about in a book like Game of Thrones. These huge, majestic, massive creatures that are just gorgeous. So this is our last training run. I did the pool again, that way we can get her stamina built all the way up. And the other reason why I like this game is from a cultural aspect, because it's a game you wouldn't see produced here in the United States. The Japanese had the ingenuity to go, yeah, we'll make a game about horse racing, why not? And it kind of embraces, again, part of their culture that's been around for over 160 years now. We're running the mud again at Santa Anita. And that's part of what I think is the fun about playing video games on different consoles, and part of the reason why I want to start this channel is figuring out what it was about what was happening in Japan back in the 80s and 90s and making games that would have never seen the light of day in the United States. Again, because they never would have really seen the appeal. Ooh, I gotta get ahead of that one. I got the speed kick, and we're just going to win it by a neck. There's a lot of games that I will be endeavoring to feature on this channel that never were ported over from Japan to the U.S. The most notable one that I know of is Super Robot Wars, made by Banpresto and Bandai. I love those games, but when I first heard that they were coming out in Japan, I wanted a system that could play them forever. But they never came out in the US. I know Steam had one of the later Super Robot Wars titles that was released, but they only released it on Steam in the Pacific Rim in Southeast Asia. You can't get it still here in the US. And I think that's a shame. You know, being able to experience different games like this is part of the fun for me. You know, as a guy who doesn't play Call of Duty, or, you know, I don't play Fortnite, I don't even play World of Warcraft, I don't play most modern MMORPGs, just because they're not my bag. That's not to say if you play them that there's something wrong with you, but for myself, it's not my thing. Obviously, I like playing role-playing games. I spent 60 episodes playing Final Fantasy VI, but I mean, you kind of get my point, hopefully. Now we're going to France and running around the Arc de Triomphe. And if you, like I said, if you had told me, see, I think I first played this game in 2013, 2014. So if you told me 7-8 years ago that I would be spending my time wanting to play a cartoon version of a horse racing game on a 30-year-old system, back at that point when I was playing Metal Gear Solid and I was really investing in Skyrim and so many other modern games, I would have said you're out of your damn mind. But yet here I am. I've got enough juice to get to the end. We're getting close. Yes, sir. I think we won by like 3 lengths. 4 3/4. Now I can do the jockey trainer. Being able to give him the extra push is always a good thing. And then it's an easy enough to play game that they, you know, you're not overly complicated by different. It's not like a fighting game where you've got to know different combinations and things like that. You just got to be able to know how to race. And unlike driving a car, well, in some ways like driving a car, actually, you got to know how to handle what is underneath you. In auto racing, you got to know how to handle the engine, the suspension, the tires, the brakes, all that stuff. Well, it's similar to handling a horse. You got to know how to treat it getting out of the gate so it knows which way to go. You got to know when it's, you know, backing off. You got to give it a little bit of extra kick. And then you got to know when to just let it run. Like so. Well, they're going to try and catch me. I don't think they did. Nope, we took it by a length and a half. 158.3. So we're 10.5 million. And I will admit, part of the appeal for me about this game also, and here we go, this is when we get to the end. So now we have to take on this rival jockey, and they never get his name. So he's racing Doe Story, and we should have a shot at being able to beat it. It's not like most games where you have a rival show up and, like, he finishes as soon as you get out the gate. This game does give you a fair crack at him, but you do have to beat him. Picking up that carrot was helpful. don't think I'm gonna have enough juice to get to the end unless I get a carrot here. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. Ah. Well, we are toast now. As he slowed all the way down. I hit the last two I did not need to get. And he won by a 1 3/4 lengths. You got no class. So we're at half an hour, and I think that's a good place to call it. So that, guys, is Stakes Winner 2 for the SNK Neo Geo. If you've enjoyed this Sports Saturday, best way to show it is hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, ring the bell to be notified of the latest content. Remember, we have Suckerpunch Sunday coming up tomorrow where we will play a fighting or fighting platform-based game from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th generation. You can also follow us on Twitter at @Retrocade. Help us hit our goal of 100 subscribers as soon as possible. Also, we also have our one-day features and WTF Wednesday coming up this next week to boot. And if there's any game you'd like to see us feature from the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th generation, the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Sega Master System, Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, SNK Neo Geo, Nintendo 64, PlayStation 1, or PlayStation 2, leave it in the comments below. As always, my name is Ronin. It's good to be back, guys. I will hopefully heal up soon. In the meantime, you all be safe, be well, enjoy your Saturday, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Bye.